Hello everyone, welcome back to Vtuber Connect, and let's go ahead and continue. I pick up the waste bin in Makoto's room and put it in front of her as she wipes her face with tissues. I take a seat next to her after she finishes blowing her nose into a tissue and throwing it into the waste bin. How are you feeling?
No idea, Pat. Better, I think. Feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. This is the first time I've told anybody about all this.
Well, if there's anything else that comes up that you feel like you want to let out, then please rely on me.
Thanks.
We both sit silently for a bit, simply appreciating the company of each other.
Sorry about, your shirt.
I look down to notice that my shoulder's still wet from the mess that Makoto had made. Don't worry about it. So, what will you do moving forward?
I'll choose to trust you. I want you to walk this path with me. And after all, you did tell me that you'll help me find my happiness.
Hearing that makes it sound really embarrassing. But I did, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I don't think it'll be easy to change my mindset. There's still a lot of things that I hate about myself, and I don't see myself suddenly becoming a stronger person anytime soon. But I think I found some inspiration in you to find the strength I'm looking for.
Huh? Me? I wouldn't particularly call myself a strong person.
The strength you've shown me isn't a strength that's defined by a lack of weaknesses. It's a strength to embrace your weaknesses and be able to walk forward by accepting them. I think you've recently come to accept your natural tendencies to think bad thoughts as weakness. And you've been able to walk forward with what you want by accepting that they're an inevitable part of you.
Oh, I would honestly say that it isn't my own strengths that allowed me to do that. My sister actually helped me a lot.
Maybe strength isn't defined by just an individual. The ability to form close bonds is also a part of what makes you, you. In that sense, your bond with your sister is a part of your own strength.
Maybe you're right about that. In that case, I'd look for us to become part of each other's strengths. Though I probably won't add much to you.
Hey, I think I might actually decrease your strength if you include me. But sure, let's do it.
Both start laughing, albeit weakly. I'm glad that we're able to laugh like this despite the heaviness that was in the air earlier. Makoto wipes the tears from her eyes once again. This time it seems like they've stopped.
Regarding the struggles I talked about relating to being a VTuber, I don't think they'll ever get easier. There will always be commitments, expectations, and situations that I'll have to overcome as a VTuber. But I think now that I have at least one person that understands me, I'll be okay.
Is there anything I can do to help? In terms of the workload?
Do you have any experience in video editing, VTubing software, or streaming?
Not really.
Well, I don't think you can really help but seeing. I wouldn't want you touching anything related to my commissions. Same thing when interfacing with vendors for merchandise. Well, I'm sure there's grunt work I could have you do.
I guess that's better than nothing. About what you think about mana.
Of course, I don't blame people for pushing the current identity of mana onto me. In the end, it's my own fault that I feel guilty about lying to people. I put on the appearance of someone who I wish to be when I'm nowhere close to reaching that point. I never intended to trick people by masking my true self. I put on this appearance of a greater version of myself, in hopes that I can one day become that person by internalizing that behavior. But maybe I'm just deceiving myself along with everybody else.
It doesn't feel right to call what you're doing disingenuous or dishonest. Nobody can naturally be the best version of themselves. There's nothing wrong with trying to change how we naturally behave, so that we can become a better person. Can you really call that deceit? Isn't that still being emotionally honest?
I don't know. I'm not sure if what I'm doing is right. I don't think I should be hiding my true self at the same time. My true self is not something I want to show to people.
Is there really anything wrong with hiding a part of yourself? Sure, it can be done in deceitful or manipulative ways. But isn't hiding parts of ourselves that we don't want to show to others something we all do? And is it really wrong to show a different side of yourself if that's what you wish to be? We're all works in progress. Maybe some people out there have it figured out. I don't know. I don't know if it's even possible to reach a point of completion as a person. But I don't think it's a bad thing to constantly be in a state of transformation and improvement. Can what you said even be considered hiding your true self? To me, what you're showing is also, in a way, your true self. And everything will reflect how you naturally are. Is a person's self only defined by their natural tendencies? Isn't who they aspire to be also part of who they are? I'm still struggling with this myself. When I found out you were mana, I couldn't stop myself from thinking about my own self-satisfaction and validation. These are my natural thoughts. That's who I am. And I hated myself for it. But I was also someone who wanted to overcome that and be a better person. I still have those negative, selfish feelings and I probably haven't fully come to terms with them. It's like you said earlier, I'm trying to come to terms with my own natural tendencies and find the strength to move forward by accepting them. In that way, I'm also trying to be the self I aspire to be, despite how I think naturally. Wouldn't you still consider that to be my true self?
I would.
Is it any different for you?
I'm going to have to think about it some more. My head is all over the place right now.
Same here. Sorry if what I said didn't make any sense.
No, I understood what you were saying, I think. It's just myself that I need to understand, and I think that's going to take a bit more time. Maybe once I do, I can decide how I want to proceed with mana. It's definitely not going to be straightforward though. It's not as simple as saying, hey, look at me, I'm this depressed, broken person. but I'm trying to improve by being this better person. Hope you can accept me. That might not be something that should be shared with people. I don't want people to worry about me. And that's not who I want to be known as. I don't want to be someone who's defined by my weaknesses or struggles. I don't want to be known as that person who's struggling or is depressed. I want to be known as the person who was and is able to overcome those struggles. It's not as simple as just be yourself, isn't it? Kinda reminds me of our first conversation we had when we met.
Oh yeah.
Whatever I decide to do, I wonder if my fans will still accept me.
I'm sure they will. That's what we do.
You really think so? I see. I'll have to think about it some more. I don't think it's something I'll figure out and become comfortable with right away.
That's completely fine, isn't it? Let's find the right answer together.
You're just going to keep saying embarrassing lines, aren't you? Thank you, though. As for the relationships I talked about earlier, my parents and the friend I made as VTuber. I think for my parents, I still want to continue choosing my own path in life. I believe that in time they'll come to understand what I want for myself. But I want to become a better daughter regardless. I think when this is all over, I'll have a long talk with them.
I know they'll come to understand. That's just how family is, right?
As for my friend, there's something that I want to do. But I need to think about it more. I'll let you know once I found my answer. I want you to be there with me.
Of course.
I think that just leaves my most immediate problem that has to be addressed. My anniversary stream is only in 3 days.
How much is there still left to do?
Well, there's the final checks I have to do with the art pieces I commissioned, making sure everything is set up correctly with my vendor for merchandise.
I have to put together the visuals such as the news or merchandise as well as the thumbnail for the stream. Okay, well that isn't too bad.
I also had to finish the script for my program, prepare the audio and video files I'll be using as well as the other assets, rehearse the songs I'll be singing. Pick out the fan letters I'll be showing, choose the clips I'll be putting together as highlights for the year.
You said it's in 3 days, meaning we only have tomorrow and the next day to work on it?
Yeah.
You had all this to do and you were spending your last few days with me?
Yeah, don't you feel special?
Yeah, I feel special, alright. So, how are we going to do this?
I don't know. We'll just have to get it done, I guess. Can you come over early tomorrow?
The last few days have been such a roller coaster and I guess it hasn't stopped yet. Okay, I'll come over early tomorrow.
We should probably call it here for today, so you can get a good rest for tomorrow. I think you've been lacking in sleep for the past few days.
Agreed. Stand up and immediately notice my exhaustion from the events of today. I guess it wasn't just the emotional exhaustion that I'm feeling. Makoto stands up and leads me out the door. Makoto walks with me to the gate in front of her house. After I reach the gate, I turn to her. I guess this is it for tonight. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Wait,
Makoto immediately walks up to me and locks me in a warm embrace. Makoto?
hush. Let me add this before you go.
After recovering from being caught off guard, I return the hug. My heart is pounding so loudly that I'm sure Makoto can hear it. We stay like this for about 10 seconds until Makoto releases me.
Thanks for that and for everything else today.
Of course, anytime. Thank you too for everything. Makoto smiles for a few seconds before waving to me and turning to walk back to her house. I watch as she reaches the door to her house and turns her head to give me one last smile before entering her house. Her smile was unlike the sad ones that she usually gives. This one was of hope for the future. As uncertain as it may be, we walk down whatever path it takes us, together. Once again, I find myself in front of Makoto's place, this time with newly found resolve and laptop in hand, but also with the worry that we won't be able to finish everything in time. I ring the doorbell to Makoto's house and look around the neighborhood. It's a cool, quiet morning. A neighbor can be seen walking their dog. Such a nice morning. Probably helps last night was the first night that I didn't sleep way past midnight. My thoughts are interrupted as Makoto opens the door and comes out to open the gate. Good morning.
Good morning. Feels a bit weird to say that. I haven't gotten out of bed this early in a while. It's kinda nice.
Makoto gestures to me to follow her and we make our way to her room. I take a seat on the floor in Makoto's room and sign into my laptop. Makoto takes a seat at her desk. So, what grunt work could you have for me?
Well, you could start by massaging my shoulders.
I sure can see how that directly helps with your anniversary string.
But actually, could you find some clips I could use as highlight moments to show for this year? Just find some of my most popular moments and find which VOD they're from. And let me know which one when it happened.
Okay, I'll be sure to pick out the most embarrassing moments for this year.
Why is that? Can you repeat that?
I said I'll pick out your cutest and coolest moments for this year.
Ah, okay. I thought I misheard you for a second there.
Makoto turns her chair and gets to work on her computer. I open the lid of my laptop and start researching what clips I can give to her. After some time, I find a good amount of clips that I can give to Makoto. There's a few clips of her most intense boss fights. There are some funny moments, some clumsy and cute moments. Going back and seeing these moments made me feel a bit nostalgic, even though it hasn't been that long. These types of moments are what got me through some dark times. Hey Makoto, I'm going to send you the list of the clips. Makoto turns to me and stretches her arms. Seems like she was working out some image editor.
Thanks.
There's something that came to mind when I was looking at these clips. I think you can already piece it together from what I've told you, but about half a year ago, I was in a pretty bad headspace. I wasn't able to find the kind of relationship I was looking for. After entering university, so I was pretty depressed and lonely for a bit. Looking at some of your best moments, it reminded me of how I was able to get through these tough times. I turned to your content a lot, and it was my light for a while. I don't think I went about it in the most healthy way afterwards, using it as a replacement for what I was looking for. I still value the experiences I've had. So if anything, I'm at least one person whose life you were able to make brighter through VTubing.
I'm really glad to hear that. I hope I can continue making your life a bit brighter, both as Mana and as Makoto. And I do hope you find what you're looking for.
I think I have.
Eh?
I immediately get embarrassed and look away from Makoto. I clear my throat to clear out the awkwardness. By the way, you haven't eaten yet, have you? Let me stop by the store to grab some food for us so you can continue working.
Yeah, thanks. Here, use this key to lock the door behind you to let yourself in.
Thanks. See you soon. I arrive at the store where Makoto and I had first met. I let out a deep sigh. I'm still kinda crazy about Makoto, aren't I? I still don't know where our relationship is at. Well, at the very least we're friends, I guess. But I think we shared some really personal experiences that just saying we're friends might be reductive. Or maybe I'm reading too deep into this. I haven't really explicitly asked her what she thinks about maybe right now isn't the best time with the work we have to get done. I also don't really understand my own feelings all that well. I might be misinterpreting as well. This is probably something that should wait until after the anniversary stream. We're busy enough as it is. I should be thinking about not making things uncomfortable for her instead of trying to rush things. I would have known that not too long ago my life would change so much from meeting someone here. Life sure works in mysterious ways. Is it weird to feel nostalgic like this when it's only been about a week? I wonder where we're going to go from here on out. I let out a deep sigh. Even though I assured Makoto in so many things, I'm not confident at all in myself. I don't have very many answers to the problems laid out in front of us. I can't help but feel like just being there for her isn't enough. No, I shouldn't think like this. I need to do what I can. I bring my hands up to my face and quickly slap my cheeks to try and dispel my anxiety. Let's get the food and go back. I open the door to Makoto's room to see her continue to be hard at work. When she notices that I came inside, she turns her chair to me and leans back. I hand her the key as well as a bento box.
Thanks.
No problem. Are you making good progress?
Yes, actually. I should be ready for the stream going at this pace.
That's good. We both open our convenience store bentos and start eating. I guess now would have been a good time to ask her about various things I've been wondering about. So if you don't mind me asking questions about what it's like being Mana.
Go ahead. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff you're wondering about.
What's it like being famous?
Well, it's cool, I guess. It's nice that I can keep my private life a secret. It's like I'm a superhero or a magical girl. There are the obvious downsides that it has, like how negativity will inevitably come when it brings so much attention to myself. I think the biggest thing is the validation I can get from all the people that support me. It's a double-edged sword. It's easy to fall into the trap using your audience for self-validation. But at the same time, it's not like people's impressions are not worth anything. My fans are naturally going to be supportive of what I do, but I try to be realistic about myself.
Yeah, you seem to be pretty harsh on yourself despite all the praise you get. I think you could definitely be more proud of yourself.
That's a tall order.
Guess it might be. This is a bit vague question, but what do you think about the relationship between you and the monofans? From a fan perspective, it's a bit hard to get noticed as an individual. You can see how you present yourself on stream and see how you interact with chat. We kind of have to accept the fact that we never get to know us as individuals.
I've actually thought about this a lot. It's kind of weird to think about it, isn't it? You have one person able to have the majority of agency and communication, and the only way for the other side to make themselves known is through chat, which can be impersonal. I can even choose to not read chat. I can make it completely one-way almost. Even if I try my best to interact with chat, I don't know them as people, and they don't know me fully as a person either. But even so, I love the monofans. They've given me more than I can never hope to return. I don't believe that the relationship we hold is just something as shallow as a way for me to make money, a way for monofans to get entertainment. There definitely is something special there that's different from other types of relationships. And I think it's easy for it to turn into an unhealthy relationship, both for the VTuber and the fan.
Yeah, I understand from experience. I use a streamer-viewer relationship as a way to substitute for what I wanted from a more intimate, mutual relationship. Maybe they can give a similar feeling in some ways, but ultimately they're two different things. I've experienced how easy it can be to fall into an obsession as well.
That can happen to the VTuber as well. Developing over-reliance on interactions with chat as a substitute for what they might really want. Or getting obsessed with someone because they end up making things too personal.
Has that ever happened to you?
Obsession with someone? No, I try to keep a reasonable distance from my viewers. I think I might give them the wrong idea if I try to get closer to them. I think it can work depending on the streamer. There's nothing wrong with getting to know someone who watches your stream. But you have to establish that interpersonal one-on-one connection first. And I don't think that's possible for me to do that with every viewer that wants to do that. I'm sure there are people out there that are nice and I would want to be friends with. But I can't be expected to try and get to know every single person that wants to get friendly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's hard to find the correct way to interact with my fans. On one hand, I want to get to know my community and I want to be able to acknowledge people. But at the same time, I don't want to create any expectations that our interactions will turn into anything more than streamer-viewer dynamic. I would feel partially at fault if, because of my actions, a viewer ended up developing an over-reliance with me despite the fact I can't return the same attention. Even if it could be because the viewer misinterpreted you, I don't think you're at fault at all. I think there will be people that develop that parasocial reliance regardless of what I do. But I want to think about the things that are in my control. It's impossible for me to invest the time and energy into acknowledging every one of my fans. And I don't want to just ignore them. I'm still trying to find that balance between being engaged with my fans while maintaining enough distance to not create any expectations.
I can see how that would be difficult for streamers to deal with. There really doesn't seem to be an easy solution. The way people interact with any entertainment medium is complex. It doesn't help that streaming as a medium is fairly new. Add VTubing as another, even newer layer on top of that, it becomes even more complicated. I'm still trying to understand my own experiences.
Same here. It's all still new to me, so I'm constantly finding myself thinking and doing things that aren't healthy. Like developing an over-reliance on streaming at times. I was aware of what I should be looking for in my relationship with my viewers in terms of it being healthy and positive for me. It's hard not just to turn to streaming when I'm feeling lonely, or if I just want to escape from everything. Is there anything wrong with feeling like that though? I'm sure it'll do the same thing. I think the problem arises when you're just using it as a way to avoid your issues. In that case, I guess the problem isn't with VTubing itself, but with the mindset to try and escape from everything. But I guess there are times where the best thing to do is to try to just take a break from everything. And VTubing is just a way to be able to do that, both from the streamer and viewer side. There is, of course, when VTubing itself becomes a problem, like how we mentioned before about developing an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah. I don't think there's a correct way to watch VTubers. Sometimes there aren't correct ways to consume other forms of media. But at the same time, there are ways you can go about it that will be unhealthy for you. A lot of times it can happen without you knowing or without you wanting it.
I guess the best thing to do is to just try and be aware of your experience with VTubing as much as possible.
You might be right. Why is it so complicated? I guess that's part of what makes it fun and interesting though.
Here, I'll make it easier for you. The objective way to enjoy my stream is to forfeit all mortal possessions to me.
Hey, you said before that you don't need any of my money.
True, I don't. I'll be happy if you just continue supporting me in your own way.
I can do that. Makoto smiles at me before finishing her food. After cleaning up, she showed me some things to review and give my opinion on as a viewer while she continued her own work. We would work silently but occasionally make small talk as a break from work. This went on for a few hours.